Okay, right. Let's start. So, SQL Server Database Administration, we play supporting role here. Supporting role in the sense working with different databases, different database servers. And more it is like, issue resolution related. There is no coding. You are not going to write any stored procedures that and all, because stored procedures, they're all completely related to SQL development activities. Okay. And coming to next scenario. Now, ticket-based work, most of the scenarios, we work with the tickets. Different types of tickets we are going to work. So SLAs will be there. SLA means service level agreements. Based on SLA, ticket priorities and the resolution timings will be defined. So now coming to next step. I will give you complete picture. Generally what happens in real-time environment. Suppose you are a DBA. I already told you most of the cases we are going to work in supporting activities. Okay. So now the thing is, Deepika, please mute. Whenever you have questions, you can unmute and talk to me, please.
Okay, sir.
So some users will be there. So just assume that this is your client place. Your client is from somewhere America. Different databases and database servers, whatever we are using, they'll be there in the client location maximum. So these users, end users, customers, they're going to access data from these databases and database servers. I mean, they're going to use them. In this scenario, they face some issues. Same time, what happens, here we have DBA team. For a DBA team, what happens, companies will maintain some ticket tool. This ticket tool is like email ID only. So, but it is especially for client communication purpose regarding tickets. Okay. Okay. So now, if they're facing any issues, client, they will raise the ticket and they will send a ticket to DBA team through this ticket tool. Okay, Nandi? So here important thing is ticket means what? Ticket means the error message we are receiving from the client. Okay, you're going to receive some error message from the client, right? That error message, we call it as ticket. So now you are a DBA, right? What you need to do, here you are going to accept the ticket and you have to resolve the issue, close the ticket. So this is the thing you are doing. After accepting ticket, what to do? You have to connect to database. After connecting to database, resolve the issue, close the issue. So these are the things you are going to perform. But remember, in this scenario, what's happening, we are going to work with something called as SLA, Service Level Agreement. This is an agreement between your company and client. In the beginning of the project only, SLA will be done. So based on SLA, ticket priorities and resolution timings will be defined. Of course, different companies will maintain different SLAs and different ticket resolution timings. But now, whatever we are maintaining, I'm going to share them. Suppose you received P1 ticket. P1 immediate resolution. Immediate resolution required for P1. Then P2 ticket. You can take 48 hours time for the resolution. P3. You can take 4 days time for the resolution. P4 you can take 1 week time for the resolution. Okay. So this is standard. I mean, for my company. So if you are going to join with some other company, they may go for some other type of tickets. It's not standard, but tickets will be there. Resolution timings will be there, no doubt. Here the scenario is why we are maintaining all these things means, for example, some critical issues will be there. Database failed. This is always critical issue. So if you store data in some database and database is failed now, that is critical issue only, right? And so now, for example, something user unable to connect to database. This is critical issue kaadu. It's not critical issue. You are going to get different types of issues, and based on issue, priorities will be defined. Database failed, critical issue open cheyachchu. But user unable to connect, the critical issue kaadu. They cannot open it as critical issue. Got it? So we are going to work with the different types of tickets. When we received some ticket, based on ticket type, I mean issue type, and how that issue is going to affect the environment. So by considering all these things, they are going to open priority. They are going to assign priority to the ticket. Otherwise, what happens? They will try to open every ticket as critical only. No doubt. So now what to do every day? As a DBA, every day we are going to connect to office system. Then beginning we check with emails and ticket tool. We always check with emails and ticket tool. The reason is any tickets there. Because your primary task is resolving tickets, right? Your primary task is resolving tickets, and so we have to check for the tickets in the beginning. If any tickets there, we are going to resolve them. Okay. So coming to next scenario. We are going to resolve the tickets as per the priorities. So in this process, what happens, sometimes we are going to take help from other teams. I'll give you a simple example. There is some user. User is executing some query. I'm sorry. User is executing some query. Some real-time scenarios I'm sharing. Listen carefully. And user is facing issues, and it is taking time. Query is taking time to execute. Time తీసుకుంటుంది. There are many reasons for that. We have to check with everything, because until we find out the actual reason, we need to check everything, right? So sometimes the reason for this issue is network issue. If any network issue is there between client and your SQL server, there also you face very latency issues. Latency means what? Very ఎక్కువ time తీసుకుంటుంది for execution. And these things are really important for us, So this is completely, real-time related scenarios and issue-related scenarios. I'm going to share you some real-time scenarios in the class only. Okay. And your important point is, when we are working with these things, we need some SQL queries knowledge. If you know about SQL queries, because if, for example, there is some issue with query, you are going to resolve the issue only, but you don't know what is query. Then how can you resolve the issue? See, you don't know what is the meaning of query, then how to resolve issue, tell me? Not possible, right? This is the way. So now, coming to next scenario. This is all about queries and different types of, not queries and tickets. Tickets related issues. So now, coming to next step. What about configurations? So not only tickets, it's supporting activity. It is completely different scenario. Along with this, we are going to work with some configurations also, right? So next step, configurations means what? Why we do configurations? For example, you are working with some, let me take some example so that you'll get more idea about it. Suppose you have some database and you know, right, why we are using databases, that is clear, right? Okay, now why we are using databases? To store data, to store customers' data. Okay, right. For example, this is our production database. In this database, we store data, production data. This is symbol of the databases. We call it as cylinder symbol. So this is our production. So now you are working with some clients. So clients' data is part of this production database. Fine. So if this database fails, general scenario only. If this database fails, then what to do? What happens? You are going to lose the data, right? This database fails, you are going to lose the data. No doubt. So in this case, we have to create some security for the data which is existing in this database. Then we go for backup. And backup means what? We take copy of the data. Then నుంచి copy తీసుకుంటాము. And when we lost database, we can restore database from the backup. Just general scenarios I'm discussing. Try to follow me. If you have any questions, you can unmute and ask. No problem. See, suppose you are taking backup. Backup means what? Copy. Copy of the data. If you lost your database, you can restore database from the backup. అక్కడ నుంచి restore చేయొచ్చు. That is okay, no problem. But my question is, you lost your database. You have backup. That's fine. Now you are going to restore it from the backup. It is time taking. Restore means again it takes time, right? A lot of things you need to perform. Time taking process and completely. Time taking process. So that time will be considered as downtime. Downtime means what? Database is not available. Then client will not allow this type of scenarios in the production. So what to do? See, you cannot stop losing databases. Am I right or not? Hey, agu. We cannot say like that, right? If there is some issue, database will be failed, no doubt. So now what we are doing, you know, there is some environment, some database and for this we are creating duplicate like this. So this is the production and here we are going for duplicate for the production. And you are maintaining same data in production under duplicate. Now the thing is, if you lost your production, you no need to recover it from the backup. Still, see, you have duplicate, but still we go for backup. But the thing is, after losing production database, you are going to make a duplicate as production because already the data is available in the duplicate also. Same data. In that way, what is happening, you know, you are going to minimize downtime. Okay. So this type of configurations required for the production databases. That's why what we do, we are not only ticketing. Previously, I discussed about ticketing part. Not only ticketing part, we are also working with this type of production. I mean configurations. Right, guys? So here important point is you did some configuration. Then every day you have to monitor that configuration. Every day you have to monitor because if something goes wrong, if any issue is there in the configuration, you have to resolve it. And got my point, right? You have to resolve that issue. So configuration and monitoring. If you find any issues in the monitoring area, then you need to resolve them. So this is also like ticketing only because supporting issue resolution. Every day you are not going to do configuration. For example, you need duplicate environment for a production. You implement it in the beginning of the project only. Ante kada. Every day you are not going to implement it, right? Okay, no? So configuration part also really important for us. But if there is some configuration, means you are going to monitor it and you are going to face some issues there and you are going to resolve those issues. Resolve those issues. This is what the task you are going to perform. You are a DBA. But definitely you need some SQL queries knowledge. But you don't need to worry about SQL development queries knowledge, and because I'm only going to teach you some queries here. That is more than enough for us. And in the same way, like I'm talking about production. What is this production and all? Because you are all new to this environment. So what is the meaning of production? So I'm talking about production database. What is the meaning of production database? Actually, what happens, we have some deployment pipeline for any project. Based on that, what happens, every project, you go to any project and minimum 3 servers will be there in that project like this flow. So this is called as development environment. This is QA environment, and this is I'm sorry, uh, production environment. So development, it starts in the beginning. SQL developers works on development scenarios. They develop the databases, right? So after finishing development, this database goes to QA and test environment. They're going to test the database developed by development team. Okay. After development, it goes to production. In production, we are going to store actual data. In production environment, we are going to store production data, actual data. Production data means what? Actual, because you are going to work with some client. Some data will be there from our client, right? That will be our actual data. That will be your production data. Okay, now. So this is overall scenario. That means two types of tasks you need to work out. They are like, configurations, monitoring, issue resolution, and a ticket resolution. These are the activities we are going to perform under database administration. This is pure SQL DBA role. I'm going to share you, see, configurations anyhow. For example, today you configure something in our local laptop. And the same thing will be there in real time also. Same steps, everything same. But ticket related real time scenarios required. What are especially, queries related tickets? Maximum cases in real time environment, we receive tickets related to queries only. No doubt. Queries related tickets, maximum. That is the point. Okay. Now. So this is overall introduction. Overall introduction of the database administration part. Okay. So that is the scenario. Now please go ahead with your questions. Any questions, please? I think Harsha, you joined late. 10 minutes back only you joined, right, Harsha?
Yes, yeah.
Right. Any questions? Anybody? Srinivas, Jakir, Deepika, Harsha, Rajesh. If you have any questions, you can unmute and talk to me. We are already recording this session, and every day we do the same on recording, and we will share them to you. Recordings regularly share, yes, by using a Google Drive. No questions, sir? Then introduction is finished, and we'll start regular class from tomorrow. Tomorrow's class, I'm going to start with the installation related scenarios, prerequisites, post installations, and servers related scenarios. Those things I'm going to discuss very clearly in the tomorrow's class. Okay, no? Right, then we'll meet tomorrow. See you. Bye-bye. Yeah. Same time, same. Yeah. Same time, same link. Okay.